Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight back into the Gulaven Forest anomaly over in the Skull Towns. You know the drill by now. We're looking at a case file full of isolation, auditory hallucinations, and some seriously ancient terror. Let's get right into how a seemingly mundane investigation twisted into an absolute nightmare.
Gambhira Ratrim Bhavati, as the night deepens. This single, fragmented Sanskrit chant is the literal catalyst for the whole mess. It's the physical hook that dragged our lead investigator, Avni, right back into the shadows. It sets a very dark, very specific rule for everything that follows.
Now, physical evidence in these types of cases is, well, it's rarely straightforward, right? Instead of your standard run-of-the-mill geological rocks, the artifacts Avni actually recovered were completely unnatural. They perfectly mimic the shape of a pregnant human womb. It takes a trained eye to spot anomalies like this instead of just dismissing them as, odd-looking stones. It grounds the whole paranormal mystery into something you can literally hold in the palm of your hand.
And the stakes behind those stones? Brutally high. 5. That is the exact number of people from the previous official survey team who wandered into the forest and just vanished. Without a trace. No abandoned gear, no bodies, literally just 5 of those pregnant, womb-shaped stones left sitting in the dirt.
So how exactly do you pull a chant out of a solid piece of rock? Well, the secret here was infrasound. Finding absolutely zero magnetic signatures, Avni checked the audio frequencies. And get this, these stones were actively broadcasting a hidden low-frequency wave, way below human hearing. In nature, infrasound is scientifically known to cause severe, unexplained dread in people. These things were essentially tiny, silent terror beacons.
That hidden broadcast actually decoded into a final horrifying word called Bakshini, the time devourer. When Avni reads this translation out loud to her partner, Megha, Megha's body just violently shivers. It's an involuntary physical reaction. Every fiber of her being reacts with pure instinctual dread before logic even has a chance to kick in. To tackle a mystery like this, you need a solid team. Enter Rahul. He's the new intern and also Megha's boyfriend. Now, he brings some exceptional observational skills to the table, passed down from his private detective dad. But more crucially for this specific case, he is a fiercely devout follower of Shiva and the Mother Goddess. And, as we'll see, that deep faith is about to be heavily weaponized against him.
Which really brings us to the elephant in the room. Why on earth would an unofficial, thinly stretched team of just 3 people go into an uncharted, notoriously cursed forest in the dead of night? I mean, an official, fully equipped team of 5 was already wiped out. Doing this with minimal gear, completely off the grid, it sounds like tactical suicide, doesn't it?
Well, there was actually a twisted kind of logic to Avni's madness. Remember that decoded chant? It gave them explicit instructions. When the night deepens. Avni theorized that whatever this anomaly was, it simply wouldn't manifest during the daytime. If they wanted answers, they literally had to play by the rules dictated by those stones.
So, after a taxi drops them off and abandons them at the very edge of the forest, Avni hands out walkie-talkies. She warns everyone, stay close, and then they make the classic, fatal mistake. To cover more ground, Avni takes the left path completely alone, sending Megha and Rahul down the right. It's a tactical decision, sure, but one that instantly and dangerously isolates them.
The moment they split up, the whole atmosphere just fractures. They are navigating in total, suffocating darkness. The brush grows thick with thorny bushes, getting denser and denser with every single step. At this point, they aren't just researchers walking down a path anymore. They're descending into the belly of the beast, relying on handheld radios that are very quickly losing range.
And this is exactly where the forest strikes. Out of nowhere, Rahul hears a sacred chant, Karpurgaram Karunavataram, echoing through the darkness. The forest essentially uses his own deep-seated faith as the ultimate hypnotic lure. Completely spellbound by the sacred sound, his fingers just slip away. Unconsciously, he lets go of Megha's hand and drifts off into the pitch-black trees without saying a single word.
Suddenly finding herself all alone, Megha's reality starts to completely warp. She doesn't hear a sacred chant like Rahul did. Oh no, she sees terrifying white shadows darting between the trees, paired with this eerie, almost maternal voice whispering, Beti Ajana, Ao Yaha. Daughter, come here. Paralyzed with terror, but with her legs moving almost on their own, she's lured straight to the base of a massive peepal tree.
What happens next is just psychologically devastating. Mega parts the bushes to see exactly who is calling out to her. But she doesn't see some monster. She sees herself. Ye to main hoon. This is me, she realizes. The sheer impossibility of standing face-to-face with her own doppelganger absolutely shatters her reality, and she collapses to the ground, weeping in terror.
As she's kneeling there, completely broken by her own reflection, the entity delivers this incredibly claustrophobic, intimate threat. It whispers, "Aaja chori, tere bhi balavaru." Come girl, I'll mess up your hair too. It doesn't scream at her, it taunts her with a deeply unsettling familiarity, clearly aiming to mentally and emotionally dismantle her.
Pivoting back to Rahul for a second, his hypnotic wandering comes to an abrupt halt as he breaks through the foliage. He stumbles upon an Agnikund, a ritual fire pit. Sitting directly across the flames is this terrifying figure, a man dressed entirely in women's attire, acting as some sort of dark priest. The illusion drops immediately, and the priest locks eyes with Rahul, just blazing with demonic anger.
The climax of Rahul's arc is brutally swift. The priest bellows, "Swaha, Ahuti Sampanhui." The sacrifice is complete. The absolute second those words hit the air, Rahul's life force is severed. It's like a puppet with its strings suddenly cut. He collapses completely lifelessly to the forest floor. That incredibly observant intern, he was nothing more than an offering. We snap back to Avni, dead static on the radio. "Mega, Rahul, do you copy?" she begs. But all that careful prep, the designated radio frequencies, it means absolutely nothing now. The team leader is entirely alone, slowly realizing that the forest has swallowed her friends up just as easily as it took the team before them. Suddenly, a piercing scream from Mega completely tears through the radio static. Avni's fear instantly morphs into this blind, protective rage. Abandoning all caution, she sprints frantically through the dark toward the sound. But in this totally uncharted environment, the ground simply vanishes beneath her feet. With a sudden, violent jolt, Avni plummets downward into a pitch-black pit. So what exactly lies waiting for Avni at the bottom of that pit? With Rahul collapsed in front of a demonic priest and Mega psychologically shattered before an impossible doppelganger, is there honestly any hope of salvation left for this team? It just goes to show, intellect and careful preparation can be undone in mere seconds by the unseen and the ancient. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning the shadows.